Hello, Dan and Jean. Just thought I'd put together a quick little video for you. I got your response via email and just kind of wanted to show you around what I've got going on here. I'm going to be able to switch between these two sites fairly quickly so that you can see both sides. So this is just your questionnaire, and it's got all this stuff in it. And I won't go to the top because I don't want to put your name up there. I'm not going to go to the cover page, that's got your contact information, but we have the site, has some site information. In notes, I do have the transcript in here that you guys can go through. And then we have questionnaire bullets, which there's stuff on the kitchen, and there's places in here where I put in some question marks to kind of help guide you with information that I'm looking for. And then some of these are just notes that I've added to the different rooms, and this may not be the best place to keep them, but it's someplace, and we'll get a little more organized as we go along. So I do have rooms here, and so these sections, and yours is going to look different unless we get you into the desktop version of OneNote, but all this stuff is available to you. It just is formatted slightly different with the web version. So underneath, like appliances and fixtures, there's upstairs toilets, bathrooms, kitchen, and I'll show you how to add stuff, but we'll do it in a different section that I'm more prepared for. So over here on the left, and how yours is set up in the web version is a little different, but you'll still have all the same things. So within here, I've got the different appliance and fixture places where you can put stuff. And then these two that say KSD only are for my use. So if it says KSD only, that's just for me to put stuff in. Now, one thing I was looking at was like, I don't know what you guys want for furniture, and so we could put in here like sectional. And just to show you how this works, we can come into a website, and all I've done is gone to local furniture store here, and we can come through, and there's the different sections that they have, and so we can shop by living room. And then you have stationary sets and leather sets and reclining and all living room sets. So let's kind of just go, let's see what we got for, so we can find one that sectional sofas, find shop sectionals. So we kind of went there, and it doesn't matter what you guys choose what you want. Maybe you don't want a section at all, but I'm just doing this as an example. So if I were to find this one and I click on it, it should take me right to it. Now that I've got it here in this location, I can see the size, and I've got dimensions. But up here at the top, you can do two different things. One is if you highlight that and you do Control C for copy, which is what I just did, then I came in here, I can put it here, and Control V as in Victor for paste. So that was Control C Charlie for copy, Control V for paste. Now this is a link, and if I click on this, it's going to take me right to this page. Oops, I went into the pictures. And from there, I can get all the information I need. Now, if you remember, I also showed you that you have this thing called a snipping tool, this little scissors looking thing, and I can click on that, and it's going to bring open this little window here. And you can set it, like if you have pull downs that disappear on you, you can put a delay on it. But I don't have any pull down I'm looking for. I just wanted to put a picture in, so I'm going to leave it on no delay. I'm going to hit new. It's already set to pick a rectangular area, and you can do different things. You can pick a full screen or a freeform or a window. But I'm going to use rectangular, do new, and then I want the name and a little picture of it. So now when it comes here, again, it's the same exact trick. So you can hit this copy button if you want, or you can hit Control C or Charlie for copy. Then I can come in here and I can paste the picture. Now you can see it's pretty large. So what I usually do is I just click on it and you'll get these little handles. If you don't pick the side one will pull it out of proportion. But if you pick the ones in the corner, it'll size it proportionately. So now I have a picture and I have a link. And that'll take me right to it. And this is how you guys can add furniture or whatever you'd like. And you could come in here and do love seat. And all I did was I added a page. And then if you remember, these pages can be put into, you can make it so it collapses. And so this comes out, or you can go in, and then if I were to add another page, that can go in 2 times, but that's as far as it goes. You get 3 levels of tier to organize data. So that's how that works. So then I can right click on it and delete it. And I could go back here, and then I could come in and go back to the main page and come in here and look for, if I want to get out of the sectionals area. So let's just back up because I don't know their site very well. And we can go into sofas, see if they have one that's actually love seats. There, love seats. So they do have a section for it. And I could just pick basically anything I'm after. Again, remember, copy the link to take me to the right site. Control C or Charlie. Come in here. Now you could turn this into the actual link if you wanted by right clicking on it and put link. And then in this address is where you'll Control V for paste, Control Victor, and then when I hit OK, it turns it into a link. So if you ever see these blue underlined ones, they're links. And when I hover over it, notice how it shows me the address of the link. So if I were to come in here and close this, and then, so now I'm out of it, and I've lost, geez, where was I? Well, here, if I click on this, it's going to open it up right to here. So that would bring me there. Now, you don't have to do just love seat that could be a category. Now this takes me to something particular. So I can come in here and I can also right click and say remove the link, and now it's just words again. So in here, if I wanted to have more than one love seat, you could add multiple pages if you decide. But you can also come in here and you can say, what are we going to call this? Traditional love seat with sloping arms. And I don't see a name on their website of what this is, but this will work. Oh, it's the Emerald Casey love seat. So if I come here, because I don't see it anywhere else, it's just the way by Emerald. Casey collection by Emerald. So I could highlight that. And all I'm doing is I'm going to copy the words. I don't really need everything else. I'm just going to come in here. I don't need to copy the link. I'm going to just copy. Now, when I come in here and I paste it, it's going to paste those words. If I hit this A, and what I did is I right-clicked, and it gives me A. This will paste it exactly as it was on the site. This will paste just the text. So if I paste just the text, you can see there's just the text. If I come in here and I paste with the paintbrush, it keeps the source formatting. And now it's the link and. So these are actually, take me to the Casey collection. This will take me probably to Emerald's website. Oh, it does take me to their website. So you can see it says Collins.com. And this is that exact love seat. And then this is the same. It's probably the same link. If I look at the number 72511C, this is a different link. So let's see where this takes us. This takes us to the whole collection where we can look at different fabrics and stuff. So there's all kinds of ways to do this. But if you found the exact thing that you wanted, let's say we wanted to go with this Old Town stripe, and you wanted to let me know that this is the fabric you wanted, then you can come down to your snipping tool, hit new, and then grab that. And now we know the fabric. Control C. So now I can come back to my page here, and I can Control V for Victor, and then I could put on the bottom, I could write fabric selection. And that's how that would work. So I don't want to leave this stuff in here, so I've left you examples in the past, but this way you can go through this video and see how to do it. So I'm going to delete this because I don't want there to be confusing information in here. And I'm going to delete this one as well. So now there's no pages in here. All you can do is hit add page, and now you've got a blank page to go with. And whatever you type in here, in this top section, is what fills out this portion on the right over here. They're the same thing. So right side. And you can see it puts in exactly those words. So that this can be turned into a link. It can be left alone. You could put just links and pictures down below, however you decide to do it. And when I get rid of that, it just goes to untitled page. So we have living room, dining room, and this is where I could really use a table. At least some ideas on what you would like. Maybe give me a few different ones that that you're considering. Unless you got one you're just totally in love with and that's it, then certainly say that. And you can give me over here, you can say first choice, second choice, third choice. And we could have a few different things, and that way if the room starts taking certain shapes, I've got some choices to go with. As far as the mudroom goes, I put in some notes in here. You know, are you going to do a built-in bench, bench with hooks? A lot of times I try to advise people not to put the hooks above their bench, because then you tend to find that the bench doesn't get used as a bench. It doesn't get sat on. So if you're going to do that sort of style, I usually say put hooks above cubbies. And that way it's not a sitting area. For an area where you want to make sure that it stays uncluttered for seating, then just don't put any hooks up above it. So there's some notes in here for you. And I think that's the only one in this section that has notes. But this is for the new furniture, and I think I've cleaned out the rest I did. So then there's photos from owners, so exteriors. So what I was looking for here is, I just picked some stuff at random. So if you come into Google, I just put home exteriors, and you can put whatever you want. Just kind of look for all kinds of stuff. You can get more specific. You guys seem pretty tech savvy, so I think you know how to get through this. But there's Pinterest site, which has a lot of different images. But notice this, and I'm using Google Chrome. So when I'm in Google, if you hit this show images, or you pick images, you're going to get just a lot of images. And some of these, you'll find that they don't go to exactly the image. And we'll find out what we get. But let's just say that this is just exactly what you want. You really like it. When you hit visit, it may lead you away from that image. Oh, it didn't. In some cases it might. So you might have to grab the image off that first page. And so again, all you're going to do is come in here. You're going to hit the new snipping. You're going to take a picture of that. And this is great that, you know, depending on how much room you've got on the page, but remember, you can resize things. So when I come in here and I paste it, Control V, now I can size that all I want to, okay? And I can put in here, exterior finishes. And maybe this is the finishes that we're after. And then you could put notes down here, love the roof edges, but don't care for white. So any notes you want to put in here. And then also when you're in that snipping tool, just so you can see, we'll go back to the snipping tool. When I'm in here and I'm using this snipping tool, I'm going to make it bigger just so we can see it real well. You've got this pen tool, and you can pick different colors. And I'll show you some tricks to the pen tool. If I were to just use red, I can come in here and I can draw a circle around something. And it'll turn into a circle by just staying still. I held my thumb on the, well, I've got a trackball. If you held your left mouse button down, it'll turn into a circle that you can now position. Oops, I screwed up. Let's go Control Z, Control Z. Now, I'm gonna, oh, it's not grabbing it. Oh, here's why. It's not grabbing it because I'm still in the pen tool. How would I get out of the pen tool? Because you can usually reposition this. I don't know why I'm not able to right now. Probably because, oh, there's that. Let's see. So you can find some other tools in here. There's the eraser, shapes, text actions. I was looking for a selector, and I'm not finding it. So maybe it's not able to do that in here. But nonetheless, just keep in mind that when I drew this shape, it's kind of goofy, and you can leave it that way. That's fine too. I could say here's this, but if I'm just holding the button and nothing's happening because it's too weird. I made too much of a weird angle there. Now, if I come over and I make an arch and it's more uniform, oh, arches apparently don't work. So, what does work for sure is straight line. I'm holding it and see how it turned to a straight line? Now I can reposition it. And then once it's there, I can grab the other end and move it. So you can get, and I could say here, I'm looking at this edge. I want you to notice this edge. Now there's some other neat tricks that I've gotten to happen in the past, and sometimes I can't figure out how they happen. But if I put that in here, then I go like this, and then I go like this. Now you can see I've got an arrow. Now if I come in here and I draw a line, see how it turned to an arrow? It's because I previously drew an arrow. So now I could, oh, it's not gonna let me grab them. I can't tell you why I can't get these now, but Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Control Z is undo, in case you're not familiar. So I guess one way to deal with that would be this. The edit tools in here are decent. They're not great. Now there's shapes in here, so I can pick an arrow. I can pick a square. I can pick a circle. Now once you're using one of these shapes, now you do have edit tools until you're done. When you click outside of it, it's done. So I could fill it in, but I can also change the size of it. And let's see if we can remember how to change the size of the, oh, that's going to be here. So I'm going to hit Control Z. I'm going to go check the thickness on my line. See how it's real thin? I'm going to come up. And now when I draw a circle, it should give me a much, no, it's not. So I might be wrong on its ability to do a thicker circle. Maybe if I right click on it. Nope, it's not going to let me do that either. I thought maybe I could change the way that it was. Let's see what we got. Oh, here we go. There it is right there. See how I can increase the thickness? See it behind there? See how it's increasing? So that was in that outline. And then I could change its color. And until you click outside, you can continue to edit this. But the second you click outside, it is stuck. So I can make it yellow. I can change its size. I can change its shape. And so you can do all kinds of things in here before you decide to send an image. So once I click outside, now when I hit Control C for copy, and then I come to here and I paste it, Control V, it's got that saved image in it. So you can point stuff out to me and say, hey, you know, I like this about it, but I don't like this. And they'll go over the top of each other. So, and then I can, you know, move this if I needed to see it, and I bring it to the front if I want. There's different things that I can do to catch everything, but don't worry too much about getting it perfect. You'll get used to this tool very quickly, and it's a wonderful tool. Now if I select it and I hit delete, it's gone. Select, delete, it's gone. Highlight, or if I wanted to, let me Control Z, bring that back. If I didn't want the text and I don't want the image, I click on the whole box and hit delete, and the whole thing will go away. So there's exterior finishes, or you can make this, siding, and you just want me to pay attention to the siding, leave me a note. I just like the siding, or I just like the siding color. Whatever you decide that you want to show off and present to me, then that's what this is going to do for you. So that snipping tool has its different features in it, and it's just a little messing around with it and playing with it to see what we've got going on. And then when it comes to appliances, you can do stuff from Lowe's. So if you go into Lowe's site, once we're at Lowe's site, then you could just go back by getting rid of this whole thing at the end and hitting delete, and now you're in Lowe's.com, or you could have just gone to Lowe's.com. So now once we're in here, you can type, go to look at refrigerators, and then come through, find the one you want. And let's just use an example. So you guys wanted a single door with a freezer on the bottom. So let's go with this one. So I'm going to click on it to bring it up. Now I'm in this item. So again, I want to go to the URL up here at the top, click it, Control C to copy it, come back here, and now I want to go to kitchens, and I'm going to put in refrigerator, and you can put in and you can make this a consideration, and then Control V. Now you've pasted that link, and if you want, you can take it further. That's really actually good enough, because I can add to it for you. But you can get used to this tool and come in here, and because then you can go back and refer to stuff too yourself, and come in here and say, hey, this is what we're looking at. I don't really care about I still want all the information at the top, that it's certified. There's the item number, the model number, and now I Control C for copy. And then if you want, you can close this. After you've Control C, you can close it. And then you could come in. I'm going to close this one. Now I'm going to go behind here. And even though I've already closed it, it's in the memory of your computer. You're going to hit Control V. And I screwed up. Probably because I closed the second one that had this image on it. And so it picked up that image. Sorry. So when I'm here, I do want to hit. And there's another trick. If you right click on this down at the bottom, because I think I had you guys pin it to your taskbar, then when you right click, you can say take new screenshot. You can do one and take one in 3 seconds, take one in 5 seconds. Let's show you what a delay is like. So this is take a screenshot in 3 seconds. Now I've got a moment, and I could say bottom freezer, and see how I didn't go quick enough. That was only 3 seconds. But let's just finish this example. So now I've got that. Don't know where it went. I honestly don't. Oh, it's because it switched. It did click the selection, so let's go back to it. And so let's go here again. Oh, it's in the memory. That's right. I used the right click to do it. So now Control V. There it is. I'm sorry. Let me go through that again with you, because that's probably confusing. So when using that snipping tool, if I'm looking at this guy and I use the right click and then I say take a new screenshot, it's going to be immediate. And there it is. Boom. Now, it didn't bring up that window, you notice? What it did is it put it in the memory. Control V. Boom. There's that new image. It just put it in the memory without it having to bring up that screen that you could draw on. So if you don't want to deal with that screen that you could draw on, you can just use that right click feature, and you can do it either with or without a delay. So let's give it 5 seconds of delay. Let's go back here. Let's close this out. Now I've got this coming up real quick, and there, got it. So now I've got all that. It gave me enough time to get back to that page. That's why I used the delay. In that case, you don't need to. Just showing you some tricks. And then Control V because it's in the memory. And there it is, the whole thing. I'm going to use this corner to bring it down to size so it fits nicely in here. I can still read it. And I have the live link to get me to that page. This is important, probably more so than this. The reason that you would use this absolutely is more on a site such as this. And here, you know, let's come into here or here. This is great. So here, don't like the house style, but oh, that's an interesting roof. So I can either visit, and let's see where it takes me, because I wanted to show you. See how it doesn't come to that page? So we are in space. It's probably, there it is, but it just brought me to the site. It didn't bring me to the picture. Sometimes you won't even find it on that page, just so you're aware. So you may have to take a picture of the initial one that you found. Now, this is in my way, you think, and all I did was I brought up one of these that was open, so that's open. I'm going to close this one behind it. This is open, and it seems like it's in my way, but when you hit new, it's going to disappear. And then I can grab the image of this house, and I can come in here and say, boom, boom. Now that's a really thick line. And so I'm going to hit Control Z, and the reason it's thick, I'm going to hit Control Z. Control Z is because I have this set up really high. So let's bring it down to something more practical. Now I can come in here and I can say there, and I pointed too low, but you get the point. And then I could come in here and write, or there should be a text feature. I don't even know what that does. Copy all text. Oh, this is just some other stuff. I'm not sure what that is. There's an eraser. I thought we had a text ability on here. Text actions. Copy all text. Quick redact. Email address. I have always spelled things out with the pen, which really is kind of painful, because when you're drawing with a trackball or a mouse, I want roof, and you can see that this is hard to deal with, especially when you run to write out a big word like material. And I saw just abbreviate it, material. But instead of doing that, so I'm going to Control Z a few times, get rid of that. Simply come in here and put something like 1. And now Control C. Now when I go over and we go back to our exteriors and I put in roof material, and I can go here, Control V, and I can now put notes. 1 period C, this shed roof, like shed and metal, too dark. So doesn't have to be perfect. It's just something that you found and you're trying to give me an idea of what you're after. So now that I've done all this, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to click it and get rid of it all at once. Clear this out, and then we're back. So we have photos from owner, which one of the things that I'd love to have from you, and maybe there's a spot in new furniture. No, it's not in here. But if we were to go to like either in rooms, in the garage, we could add a garage, or we can put it right here under photos from owner. because one of the things I'd love to have from Dan is garage cabinets. You guys mentioned that you have some cabinets that are something that you picked up along the way. Love to have some photos. Add photos and dimensions. So I'm going to leave this note here. And then up here under room, here you can see when I click on this, nothing happens. But if I double click, it changes. Now I can say garage. And so within the garage, I have garage cabinets. I can also do garage doors, garage panels, whatever you want. You know, I want a pegboard wall, whatever you're thinking of. So any of those sort of things, you come in here and you show what you have. And then you might put here pre-owned. That tells me these are ones you're not shopping for. This is what you have. And that accompanied with the fact that you're putting pictures in here. And for doing photographs, let me see if I've got anything that I can use here. And I'm just going to go into some goofy. Nope, that won't work. I'm on my other screen. Give me just a second. I want to find a picture. Oh, got lots of website stuff. On my other computers where I have my personal photographs where I could show you a photograph. Oh, I know what I can do. No, maybe I can't. We'll just do it with another job. So I'm going to go into that's not it. Here we go. Okay. So this is another project of mine. So let's just come in here. I'm going to hit pictures. And if you have your pictures that you've taken of your cabinets downloaded, then just go ahead and open them. That went to my other screen. I'll bring it over. I got to shrink it down because my other monitor is so huge. So here's a photograph. Now, with this photograph, might be able to just copy it. I don't see a copy button up here. Let's see if I make it larger. And maybe there's something in here. Copy. So I could hit copy. And it depends on which viewer you're using. I'm in pictures to view this, but I can hit copy. But let's say that you can't find any copy tool. Remember, you have your snipping tool. So just come in here, new, grab it. There's the picture of a picture. Control C. You come in here and you send me a picture of your cabinets and then size it. That way you can get multiple in here. And you're going to find that this is a little bizarre in how it adds photos. So let's do a couple just to show you what I mean. So we've got that photo. Let's grab another one. Sorry, these are going to another screen of mine. I'll just keep going through them in a different manner. So here's this photo. I'm just going to add a few because I want to show you how this works. So back at my images, my screen snipping tool, I can close that one because I'm done with it. I can close that one because I'm done with it. Now I can use this one, or I can come down, right click, and say take new screenshot. Click. Now it's going to put it in memory. So I've grabbed the image I want. I'm going to come over to here and I'm going to paste it. And you're going to notice how big it is. Boom. So now I want to bring it down so I can see multiple images on one page. Right? Now what's cool about it is that you save them, and let's say I want to see it. All I got to do is click on it and I can size it and take a better look. So no worries on it being small. Now, here's the other thing to know about this. This starts to create this box. See that box's size? As long as it's not expanded out and it's down at this size, then if I go back to my pictures again And let's just grab another picture. We'll open it up. Oh, I didn't mean to do that because I brought it to the screen again. I was going to give you another way to, because I can hit this button and just click between pictures, but this is fine. So now I'm just going to do another one. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to hit, this time I'm going to give myself 3 seconds because I want to look. I want to go to that picture. Boom. There's my 3 seconds expired. So now I'm committed. And I'm going to take that picture. Now, if I come over here and I'm outside, and you don't want to be too close, you want to be outside of it, then I hit Control V, you'll notice that these can actually be put on top of each other. But it has to be outside of that box. So this has its own deal going on. And this box, so you can't overlay stuff. Just so you understand how that works. So let's get rid of this. And that's cleaned up. So just to show you around of what I've got going on here. Plans by owner are the plans that you guys shared with me. These are photos by owner, so pictures of stuff that you want to put in. The new furniture that you guys are looking for, go ahead and add your own rooms. You just hit this plus symbol. Yours will look a little different, but you can hit the plus symbol, or you can right click wherever this section is for you, and you can say add a new section. When you add sections, it's going to add these tabs. It's the same thing as hitting this plus button, is to hit new section. If you hit new section group, it's going to put in a title. Now these are sorted however we want, tabs are, but these titles are automatically filtered alphabetically, and you can't change that. But if I add a new section here, notice it's inside of here. And let's say that I wanted this to be site photos. And I'm like, okay, I wanted a site photos section, but I really didn't want it in there. So I wanted to put it in site. Well, it doesn't like to go in site because that's a tab. But if you noticed, it moved out of that portion. By bringing it up into this blank space, it went to the main book. So it just came up here and it moved it out instead of it being in here. So now it's in there, or I can put it in there. Now it's in here. But if I move it out to here, it puts it on the main list. And it will be in alphabetical order. So you can add section groups, and that is simply right click. I would right click in this area if you're looking to put something on the outside. If you want to put it within another thing, you can right click on this. New section will add a tab. New section group will add one of these groups. So hopefully that is enough to get you going on what we've got. There are some special notes area. Put in this utilities tab. See how it says see notes in site tab? If I go to site tab and I see this utilities, I can actually right click here and I can say copy link to paragraph. Now I can go back by hitting this back button and see this, see notes in site tab. I'm just going to highlight this. I'm going to right click on it. This you don't have to remember, but just so you know what I'm doing and how I did it. Control V. This is actually a link to that page. So when I click on this now, it'll just take me, and it's going to take me to, this is going to take me to the login for the web version, which I don't know if I want to go through this route, but we can. In fact, this might be kind of and yeah, why not? Okay, so now I'm in the web view. So this is how you guys see it. Until we get you into the real thing, this is how you'll see it. So it's all still the same functions. All these are here. So there's the kitchen. There's that. Now, when we did this first example, oh, there's my. So I was going to put these in here. I'll put these in here for you. But like kitchen, dishwasher. So this is a link, and it's one I did as an example a long time ago. So I'm going to remove the link, so it's just dishwashers. Now, for here, I've got this Kohler model. This, and it was at Lowe's, so I can say Control C. Now, if I go to that Lowe's site and I put it in here, Control V, Enter, it should bring me right to it. And it did not. So I'm not sure what that model number is. So let's just grab this. And maybe that's an O and it should be a 0 or something. I don't know. Let's try this. Nope, still bringing me to the same thing. I'm going to put that -0 back. Now I'm going to copy it. Control C. And we're just going to go to Kohler. Now that I'm in Kohler, it was toilets. And so if I'm looking for it, that's why it's really nice to have you guys put in these links, because I don't know, I would have forever trying to find that model number because apparently it doesn't relate to the site. Maybe it was a, there it is. Boom. If I just put it in the model, this is probably what you were after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Control C. I'm going to come back here. And then I'm going to go to, oh, we're going to go back to that, to the page here. So you can see how I do it here. So toilets, bathrooms, and we can add a page. And now in this page, I'm going to put master, bath, and this is the way I understood it, and powder room. So master, bath, and powder, Control V, there's my link. Oh, but it's not a real link. There it is. I just had to hit enter. So it pops real link when I'm over here, but here I just had to hit enter. And now it'll bring me to it. So you can see it'll bring me right to it. And then I can just close that because I don't care about it. And then again, come down here, right click, take a new screenshot. And now I can highlight this guy. Oh, I got some sort of weird image going on there. So I'm going to probably get that weirdness. Oops. I want to stay in your web view type so you can see how to do it in yours. Control V. Yeah, see, it gave me block this out. So that was just a matter of how I took it. So if I go back to find it again, there it is. And so when I see how it's when I'm over this, that's what blocked that out. So when I come down here, right click, and I come up to take new screenshot, it's going to leave me in this preview image. So in this case, I do want to open the snipping tool, then hit new. And I can move this over to the side so I'm not interfering with this. When I hit new now it's just immediate. And I can come in here, just grab the information I want. And that's what I need right there. Control C, come back here. Oops, I don't want to, I keep going to my, I'm just so used to moving this fast. And then Control V, boom, got my image. And now that it's in here, I can size it as I wish. So this is the way you'll see it. And so you can add the links, you can add all the things you need. Here's different things for doing text and all sorts of stuff that you'd like. So rooms, all these things are in here. Everything I've showed you, it's really here. When I get a couple open, I should be able to scroll. Yeah, now I can scroll because it's bigger than the screen. So that should be a pretty good synopsis on how to do this. So now that I've got the toilets and I have this one done, I could delete it. I'll let you delete it because if I have the wrong one, I need you to straighten me out. So now I could take this model number and we can check that and see if that's in Lowe's. So I'll just go back to Lowe's site, Control V, hit back just to make sure that space isn't going to cause a problem. And it took me nothing. So you might have to find me that toilet. I'll look around a little bit, see if I can't locate it. But if you don't see it in here, then that means I'm having some difficulty finding what you wanted. If it's not in here, so the other toilet, which I would say, okay, add page, and we're going to put this downstairs, stairs toilet, and then that would be this one. So Control C, downstairs toilet, Control V, and Control X is cut. So C, copy, V, paste, X, cut. So if I wanted to, I could have just cut that and it'd go away, Control X. Now it's in the memory, so when I went to downstairs toilet, I can put it in, Control V, and it's going to put it again. But I don't need to, obviously. But nonetheless, Control Z gets rid of that. Now I could look for this in American Standard somewhere, see if I can find the proper one. Probably go to their website. I'm going to leave this here for now until I know we've got it right. Now these are pages that, if you remember, I can either indent them. Maybe you can't indent them on this. Maybe there's a different way. Make subpage. That'll indent it. So now under toilets, I've got this subpage. So I can promote it, bring it back out, or I can move it in as a subpage. And so if I move this into a subpage, remember you can go up to too deep. If you try and do it again, it's not available. So it's up to 3 tiers of subpage. So I want to promote it, and promote it. So hopefully that's enough explanation as to how this works. And if you guys want to have this more convenient view, let's take a look on your computer once you've got it set up and see if that subscription will give you a nicer looking interface. Because I sure love Office. I love OneNote. And then there is that other tool, just to give you a refresher on that. So let's go back to the web. Let's go here. No, I want something with a lot of text. So here we go. So see this piece here? This is a neat trick in OneNote. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to hit that I want to use the snipping tool. I'm going to say new. I'm going to select this text. Control C. I'm going to come to our page. I'm going to just add a page because this is going to be kind of messy. And then text, example. And I've never done this on the web version, but I'm sure it'll work. Now you can see it's really hard to see, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click this image. Right click it. See, oh, you don't have that feature in here. Huh. Paste text only. Let's see if it just does it. Paste text only. No, won't let me do it. Maybe if I make it bigger. So in this real version, if I were to do that, Control V, got this picture. I can right click and say copy text from picture and then paste it, and it'll actually become the text. Now that's an R symbol, so to make that I just do open parentheses, R, close parentheses, and it makes that symbol. So these are just little errors that it had, but I got all this text pretty darn quick with a few things to fix, and we're right in there with this is that R, that, and it gives me the symbol for the trademark. Here's the color with the R, so it's just parenthesis R parenthesis, turns it into one of those. So you can see there's some little, continuous clean. So here I can right click this and say ignore it. Quick way is just right click and hit G. See how it's underlined G? If I just hit the letter G, it'll ignore it. It does that function. So any of these functions that have I can add a dictionary, hit S and it'll make it spelling. Apparently it'll also translate it. It's weird that they're both the same letter. So I'm not sure what you get from that. But at any rate, one thing to know about OneNote, if I'm typing something, text, and if I hit tab, it's going to start creating a table. And I can put in stuff, table, table. When I hit enter, it's going to go down one. Then I can add my table. Now, let's say that I start getting a table going. This is not anything like Excel. It's not as good. But if I wanted to have, all of a sudden I say, hey, you know what? I want some headers on this. I can go to table and I can say, add, insert row above. Boom. I got a new row above. And I can put stuff in there. If I want a row in the middle, I can go insert row above this one. Now I've got one in the middle. If I decided that here, geez, I would like a new column after that. So insert column to the right of that. Boom, I got a new column. So the table is functional. It's just not very good. But I use it. It's just slow and tedious, but it is there. You can see there's a keep per. Well, that's your. So there, it makes some errors. Probably because the text was a little blurry and very small. Right click, hit G. That'll clear that red line. You don't have to even worry about the red lines. I don't worry too much about them, but sometimes I'll clean it up when I'm working with somebody just so that they can see. But anyway, I just wanted you to see some of those functions. I'm going to delete all this, and that's quite a long video, but hopefully it'll help you in being able to use this tool. Give me a call if you have any questions. Thank you.